combining shapes and masks. As usual, I create a mesh instance, a plane, a shader material, and a material inside. I'm going to call it mask 1. Then I create a basic distance field and apply the step function. So I apply this mask to the alpha channel. Now I am going to use the same mask to make an interpolation between textures. But first, I'm going to include the file with the functions I created in the previous tutorials. The line at the top, the define, I used it to try to solve the compile problem. But it creates other issues, so you can ignore it or use it only while you're calling the shader. Then I include the file. I am going to move this line up. Next, I create a variable to hold the texture, and I'm going to create a vec2 variable to hold the UV rotation, just to load the same textures but rotated. So I create another variable and load the same texture but with the rotated UV map. Now I am going to create a uniform variable to store color, and then I apply this color to the second logo. It's just the grayscale function, and I multiply it by the color. Now I make an interpolation using the mix function, and the mask, it has to be a vec3, and load it into albedo. I have to change the color and load the texture. That is going to be the icon. So you can see the result. I can apply animation with the sine function. Now I'm going to make a variation with the absolute value of the sine function. So I duplicate the plane, I make it unique recursive, and then save the shader as mask 2. So I'm going to create a new UV and a distance field with that UV and the absolute function. So I get this effect that looks like a curtain. I just change the color, and there you have it. Next, I'm going to create just another variation with the circle mask. So I save the shader as mask 3, and I am just going to change this line with a distance field to make a circle, then apply this. I change the color, and there it is. Now I'm going to create a donut shape. So I create a new shader. And I'm going to delete this code. And I'm going to start with a circle using the circle function and these values. A second circle, that is smaller, and I'm going to invert the color to obtain the white color, so you can see both of them. Then I'm going to combine the shapes with the max function. So I obtain this shape, but I am going to invert it again. So I get this mask. And I'm going to apply this mask to the mix function. And use the logos get the RGB channels and put it into albedo, so I get the result. Now I'm going to create another mask. This is going to be different. I save the shader as mask 5, and I'm going to delete all the code. Now I'm going to use the polar coordinates, and I'm going to create rays with the sine function as we seen before, and apply it to albedo, so you see the result. And I have to multiply by 100, for example, and you can see the rays. And I'm going to create circles with the X channel. So you see the result if I multiply. Then I can combine these shapes using first the step function to make it sharper. Then I multiply them, so you can get this interesting mask. I am going to assign a color and multiply this to the mask and assign the mask to the alpha channel. I can use the mask and the color in the emission so you get this effect. I can multiply by a value to increase the effect. And then I can add animation. Using time. And there you have it.